I'm Jeannine Brabon. I'm an OMS missionary, and I've served in Spain and presently I'm in Colombia. For over 26 years I was involved teaching Biblical Hebrew in the seminary, and for over 27 years I've been working in the prisons in Colombia. And we're also now doing retreats for women and men from Ransomed Heart Ministries, John Eldridge and Stacy. They have Cultivating and Wild at Heart. In the prison, we have many that are former prisoners that are now full-time ministry. We have over 50 that have come out of the prison ministry and are either pastors or evangelists that work full-time in ministry. So yes, and also with Cultivating, particularly we're working with the women. We have a team in Bogota, and then we have a team in Medellin. I don't have a typical week. Ever since I had a stroke, I've had to change my pattern, but I decided to continue in Colombia because I can see people come to Jesus every day. I have my quiet time, and then I swim half a mile. It's part of my therapy. And I do it at a military club where I've been able to see policemen come to Christ. It's for officers. And in the afternoon, I go in the prison, or in the morning, either one of them. Well, we just came through elections, and people were scared because we had a communist, Petro, and he ended up getting 8 million votes. The one that won, Ivan Duque, prayed for him. He got 10 million votes, so he came in with over 50% of the vote. It's the people that voted, and so we're in a time of transition, so Colombia needs a lot of prayer. We have some of the same issues you're having in the States with gender and wanting, the communists wanted to impose that, and so you can pray for that. At the Cultivating retreats, it's just incredible. In February, I got in touch with a woman that I had led to the Lord when I was recovering from my stroke. I was coming either from Guayaquil, from Ecuador, where we'd gone to have an event, or some other place in Colombia, but I was on the plane and I led her to the Lord. And I gave her a New Testament that had follow-up, and she started reading it and was really involved in it. Then I got involved, I finally learned, I'm not real tech, but I finally got on WhatsApp down, and she got in touch with me, and I invited her to our retreat, so she came. It was amazing to see what God's doing in her life, and then her daughter came in June to the one we had in Medellin, and she found the Lord. And this woman, she was born in a shack in Medellin and was rejected from birth. I mean, her mother was giving birth to her sister, and the midwife said to her mother, "You got another baby in there." It was Gloria, and she's just a radiant Christian. She's going to be baptized in August, so that's really exciting just to see. And we've had a young woman that came in June, came from the FARC. That's the Revolutionary Armed Forces. When she was 15, she was recruited, and she went carrying an AK-47 and ended up demobilizing, but landed in prison. And so in prison she found Jesus, and so she came to the retreat, and it was just amazing for her. It was just really thrilling to see these lives changed and transformed by God. Seeing a person coming to accept Jesus, that's so exciting to see them make that decision for Christ. It's just thrilling. I came back from Bogota from an event we'd had, and I had been with the Attorney General. He's not like our Attorney General, but that's the translation of his role in Colombia, but he's over the president. He's not appointed by the president. But I came back from that, and it was lunchtime, and I didn't have anything. I wanted something quick, so I had used up my last eggs to make one of the seminary families a cake, and so I stopped by this little store near the seminary, and I asked the lady what her name was. She said Isabel, and that Isabel is Spanish for the Hebrew Elizabeth. And I said, "You know what it means?" It means El is God. It means God is sworn. And it means that when God makes you a promise, He will keep it. And so I said that Jesus came, and even though we were sinners, He died for us, and He came so you could have Him and have a relationship with Him. And this woman accepted Jesus. It was just really exciting. She had no Bible. So the day before I'm going to come to the States, I go by her house, and she invites me in the house. She doesn't know how to use the Bible or anything. She said, will you teach me? So, that's what it's all about. That's right in our neighborhood, my neighborhood. I need to write a book. Ann Coker and different ones have encouraged me to write. I love to write, but we'll see if I can get that goal. I type with one hand since my stroke. I can type with this hand, but it's a lot faster just with one hand. So that's it. Huh?
That would be amazing. I would be.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stories. I mean, there's so many stories that I could tell. It's amazing about God's redemption and what God's doing. It's just really thrilling. I mean, like the Attorney General, I've prayed for him for over 30 years. I led him to the Lord about 25 years ago, and when he was installed, I was at the installment, which was in like the White House, but in Colombia's, the presidential palace, and got to be there. And the next day, he asked me to come and pray for him in his office. That was really precious. He's real tall for Colombia, and he needs prayer because he's fighting corruption, and it's rampant in the country. The first thing is to really cultivate your relationship with Jesus, especially women. If you're not married and you're single, it's really important to have a very strong relationship with Jesus. That's the relationship you should always cultivate, because no one's going to fulfill the deep needs of your life. Only Jesus can do that. So that's priority, to really know God and to trust Him. I think of a lady that, I happened to overhear it on the phone, and it was by accident. I was invited to this dinner, and it was all high-class people. And again, with her name, I was telling her what her grandchildren's names were. She said, what's mine? Well, it's Mary, Maria Cristina. So Mary means bitter. People don't realize that. But I said, but what did Mary do? Mary opened her heart and allowed the Holy Spirit to come in, allow the Holy Spirit to do a supernatural work in her. And because you're in a Roman Catholic country, I said, through the Virgin Mary, Jesus was born. But today, when you open your life and allow God to come into your life, He comes into your life and He makes you like Christ. That's what Cristina means, Christ-like. And so I invited her to accept Christ. And that woman was so excited. She just hugged me, and pretty soon the hostess came. She wanted us to sit down, and this woman was so excited. She said, share with me. So I shared with her, and she prayed to receive Christ. And then she sent me to her mother, who was very ill. And her mother had some kind of speech problem, and she was just mumbling. And so I sat down first and led the lady that was assistant, like a nurse that was with her, to Jesus first. I explained the gospel to her. Then I sat down by this woman who was blah, 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 like that. And I said, say this prayer with me. And she very clearly said with me that it was a sinner's prayer. And when I saw one of her other daughters, a couple of months later, she said, my mom's different. We don't know what happened. Jesus. But then the other woman, whose name is Maria Cristina, I overheard her say, when Jeannine speaks, she speaks to your soul. It hits you clear down in your soul. Well, that's what you want. You want God to do transformation. That's the only thing that counts. Yeah, do pray for daily health and strength. I mean, I work swimming every day because I know the Lord has me back in Colombia, even though I don't have the same strength or vitality I had before, but I do, and I just need, because I'm involved in ministry, and like when I go to see people in high society, it's not easy, and I just need God's daily guidance, the Holy Spirit to lead me and guide me in all I do. So I appreciate prayer for that, for health and strength. Well, I've really appreciated. I've had correspondence with Sharon Smithhart and also with Betsy. And the people that, some of you can't give, but the prayers, it's just been, I finally got Sharon on the WhatsApp so I could send an urgent prayer request to her, and that's real encouragement too. And then I'm struggling with I'm one of the fundraisers for the prison ministry, and we're way behind because I don't have regular income for the prison ministry. So that's one thing you could pray for, and that we're behind right now, 7,000. But we've cut down our staff, and we use a lot of volunteers as well. But you could pray for that. I'm very grateful for all the support, the love, the care that I've gotten from World Gospel. It's been a great deal to me all over these years. First time I ever went to World Gospel was when I was just a senior in high school. My parents were on furlough and I came, and that was my first contact.